Trump declared a halt to trade talks with Canada last week over Ontario's $75 million anti-tariff ad campaign that aired on American TV stations. It came as Canadian and U.S. negotiators have been working to hammer out a deal on tariffs targeting steel, aluminum, and energy products. Joining us now is Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew. Good morning, Mr. Premier.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Doug Ford is getting a lot of flack over this in his province. You are supportive of him. Tell us why.
Well, first off, I think it's a good ad. We're talking about Ronald Reagan, who is like the godfather of Donald Trump's party, and he's bashing tariffs, right? And this is an accurate reflection of what Ronald Reagan thought. Like, he was about free trade and respecting the relationship between Canada and the U.S. So you take this guy that everybody in Trump's party looks up to and show how he felt about tariffs. I thought it was very effective. And then you look at the response. You have the president basically giving Canada all this free publicity, making the case. I'm sure way more people saw the ad after Donald Trump made his comments and sort of had his public tantrum, if you will. So I think it was effective, because so far this year, there's been so much uncertainty with tariffs, so many impacts on us here in Canada, and we haven't been really moving the ball down the field. We haven't really made any progress since these tariffs have been announced earlier this year. And I know there's a lot of uncertainty for our ag industry, who's facing tariffs from a different direction, from China. So we got to make our case as Canadians around the world. We got to stand strong. We got to stand together as Team Canada. And that's why I've been supportive of Doug Ford, because I thought the ads were good. And I think he's showing that Canadian pride that we need right now. But
Trump is angry, and this puts all discussions on a hold. So do you think that this will get him back to the table, or will it keep him away?
Well, I think he's rattled. He's emotional. And if you're negotiating with somebody, I'd much rather have the other person be the one who's, had something get under their skin, rather than be on our side. And, for all the talk in the media this year, what has Canada really gotten out of these talks so far? Not a lot. We've made concessions. We've extended the olive branch. We've been making the effort with America. And I think sometimes when negotiations like this are at a standstill, or we're not seeing that progress, you gotta upend things a little bit. You gotta shake things up. And so I think the ads that we saw from Ontario, using the voice of Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan is the guy who invented the phrase "Make America Great Again," right? He used that in his ads in the 80s, and now we're using his tariff opposition to effect. So we're feeling the impacts in Canada of the tariffs on our investment, on our economy. In the States, though, we kind of faded from the radar. This ad, it put us back in the national conversation in the States, because at the end of the day, Donald Trump loves tariffs. How are we going to get them to change his mind? It's when the average American starts to feel the economic pain, and they start to say, you know what, these tariffs are making my life more expensive. They're slowing down our economy. I don't like them. And so we've got to make the case. And you know what? I don't expect Donald Trump to be smiling and happy with us every step of the way as we make that case to the people of America.
In the meantime, during this trade war, the country has been working at supporting itself and doing things internally, including the expansion of the Port of Churchill, which Carney has already announced some funding for. Are there any other mega projects planned here for Manitoba? Yeah,
we've got a lot of exciting projects on the go. So first of all, on the Churchill front, we've been working closely with the federal government. Your viewers may remember that Prime Minister Carney has announced this major projects office out of Calgary, led by their CEO, Dawn Farrell. She's a very impressive person from the energy industry. So her and her team have been meeting with our folks. We're working up the Churchill project and taking it to that next level. So the Prime Minister is going to be here this coming month for the Grey Cup. Hopefully things will be in good enough shape that we can provide a more detailed update on that one. And then for the two other mega projects, basically mega project is something over $1 billion, right? That's what we're talking about here. So far we've gotten a gold mine going in northern Manitoba. And then the Port of Churchill could potentially be very transformational for the region. And then the next two are in the energy space. One of them is a project that you're going to hear Manitoba Hydro talk about very soon, like in the coming weeks and months. months sort of thing. We're still doing the legwork. We're still speccing it out. We're still getting the Indigenous partners on site. And then the third project on the list, another massive, massive construction opportunity for people in the steel toes and the hard hats, as we like to say. Again, we're trying to put the deal together now as we speak. Haven't done the announcement yet, but it could mean very, very big news for the Canadian and Manitoba economy.
Okay, and today we're getting a rail relocation study, which is the rail relocation of the rail yards here in the city of Winnipeg. We're out of time, but that's something to look forward to today as well. Yeah,
Lloyd Axworthy, great guy, former Liberal cabinet minister. He's been looking at, of course, the big tracks in the north end, but what you're going to see in this interim report today is him also saying, well, what about the smaller rail lines in the west end, in St. Boniface, in River Heights? Maybe those are more bite-sized projects that we can take a look at to make the city more livable and power our economy.
Mr. Premier, thanks for your time today.
Thanks so much.